as it is being dispersed through the plant body. It is released by the plant's body, and under the favorable condition, that spore has to develop into the sporophytic, gametophytic plant body without fusion, as we discussed earlier. So, see, it is written that if the spores are released from the sporophyte, it will come on the surface, and at that time their green cells are not very prominent. So what happened? It is non-green. Since non-green, so it behaves like saprophytic structure. Later on, it will divide and becomes multicellular, and it gets its green cells back in group. Abundance is there, so it becomes photosynthetic. So question, it has been written in your NCERT that spores of pteridophytes may be saprophytic or photosynthetic. Usually students think that it is wrong statement, because if you are talking about plants, how these green plants can be the saprophytic? Yes, friend, students, notice this concept. When the spores are released from the parent body, it will come on the surface. So there is no source of food. So that spores get their food from the dead organic sources present around that in very environment. So these spores growing there at a time as saprophytic. Later on, absorbing the food, growing their cell will divide, and with division of cell, their green cells will also divide. Once it starts their photosynthetic, it will be autotrophic. So it may be saprotrophic, or autotrophic. Fine. So spores may be saprotrophic or autotrophic in pteridophyte. This is a very peculiar character that may confuse. Now I am clear, you are very crystal clear getting the concept how and when it will be saprotrophic and when it will be autotrophic condition, right? So all plants of these pteridophytes, all plants of the bryophytes are haplodiplontic. But when you have been told to specify the very specific life cycle pattern, so you can say it starts with, yes, it starts with haploid structure and comes to diploid structure. So very good, you can say as haplodiplontic. What is the term we have? But it starts with diploid structure, comes to the haploid structure. So you may also say as diplohaplontic. So both is same, either haplodiplontic or diplohaplontic, right? But in NCERT we have haplodiplontic, and in haplodiplontic both the example has been given, so no problem. It is also correct, right? Now see, the last topic we have is a diplontic life cycle pattern. Third one. So again, I will refer you this diagram. By this presentation, you can find what should be the figure of diplontic life cycle as well as their characteristics. So last, third one. Diplontic life cycle. Yes, this very diplontic life cycle is characterized by two important plants group, gymnosperm and angiosperms. As we discussed that again it will show two important phases. First will be the 2N phase, sporophytic structure, then gametophytic structure. You tell me what happened. Again, This is dominant. See how these structures are very much dominant. So this is dominant. This is your short-lived. This is green. So photosynthetic, free living. Since it is free living, so independent. But what do you think about the gametophytes? Yes, see, these gametophytes are few cell structure. So it is 1 to few cell structure. It is not green. Since not green, so not photosynthetic, not free living. So these are the very common terms. Now you are very well adversed, versatile by these all concepts. So you are finding how this is the diplontic life cycle. So what is given in the NCERT as exception? Yes, I will talk about this exception. In our NCERT, 4 plants has been given, named as, remember, Fucus, Ectocarpus, Kelps, and Polycyphonia. Yes, we have these 4 important examples. And what is the question? Question will come. Tell me, these 3, see, these 3 are your, yes, these are your brown algae, while this is, see, it is your red algae. So 3 out of 4 brown algae, 1 is of red algae. And this fucus, right, this fucus will execute diplontic life cycle, while all these 3, Ectocarpus, Kelp, and Polycyphonia, this will execute as haplodiplontic life cycle. So what we are getting here? So you can't say all algae will execute haplontic life cycle. That's why we mentioned an example during haplontic life cycle pattern as most of alga, because we have also some exceptions. So we have this haplontic life cycle in Fucus and haplodiplontic life cycle in Ectocarpus, Kelp, and Polycyphonia. So remember a mnemonic, fec poly. Remember fec poly. Remember fec poly, F is 2N while R are haplodiplontic. Remember mnemonic, what? Fec poly. Is it clear? So this is all about your alternation of generation and life cycle pattern. In some question, it is being asked that what do you mean by biphasic and triphasic life cycle pattern? It is nowadays not asked in the examination, but you may be asked by your interview or any Olympiad type question. So I would like to give you a glimpse of such types of the pattern. These are exceptional. See, whenever you are talking about life cycle pattern, see, alternation of generation or life cycle pattern, usually it will be biphasic. Usually, as we studied. What we studied, that was biphasic. But it may be triphasic. Okay? So it is not very common. You can say it's rare. So triphasic and biphasic. This is most common. So what happened? As I told you, first haploid come, then 2n come, or vice versa. 2n come or n come. So this is called only two phases are being executed. That's why it is called biphasic. But what happened? We have some examples that may be triphasic. So in triphasic we have two very important examples. One is haplobiontic life cycle. Another one is diplobiontic life cycle. Right? So haplobiontic and diplobiontic. By name it is very much clear. Haploid, bi means two terms. So what happened? By name it is clear, there will be three phases. See, first phase, second phase, third phase. So if first phase haploid n, bi means two times. So it is first phase haploid, second phase haploid, but third phase is 2n, diploid. So this is called haplodiplotic. Haplodiplotic or haplobiontic. So this phase is called two phase is of haploid phase, while one phase is of diploid phase. That's why it's called haplobiontic life cycle. And this is found in red algae, which is very much similar to the green algae, as it's called as freshwater red algae, and this is Batrachospermum. Batrachospermum. Right? So this is the red algae that execute what? Yes, haplobiontic life cycle pattern. But second we have diplo. 2n will come twice. So again it has three phases. 1, 2, 3. So first is 2n, second is 2n, third is only n. Right. So again what we are finding? 2 times we have 2n and 1 time we have n. That's why it is called diplobiontic life cycle pattern. And this is very common in Polycyphonia. So this is again red algae. So both are example of red algae. So this is haplobiontic and this is diplobiontic. So don't confuse this haplobiontic to haplontic. So remember what you have to distinguish again. We have haplontic and we have haplobiontic. These are different. These are different, not same. Similarly, diplontic and diplobiontic, again these are different, right? So in haplontic you have first phase is haploid, second phase is diploid. These both are biphasic, but this haplodiplotic or diplobiontic or haplobiontic, these are triphasic as you mentioned here, right? So this is all about your plant life cycle pattern and alternation of generation. Now I am very much sure whenever you will solve any sort of the question, it will be well solved by you. So first I will request you, write all these notes what I have given to you on your copy. Just read or hear this lecture again and again, and later on open your NCERT. You will find each and every line of your NCERT is well learned. Okay, so thank you. Keep watching Hortus Botanica with your botany mentor Dr. Mukesh Kumar. Thank you very much, friends. Take care.